Hi, welcome back for day 8 of the Wonder Wife workshop. Today I want to speak a little bit about the idea of constructive criticism. So when we speak about the word constructive, look at the root word, construction. We think about a building team, right? And they are working hard to build this grand, beautiful edifice, right? So too, when we are giving constructive criticism, in this particular case, to our spouse, we want to be careful that our words are building him up rather than tearing our husband down, right? So just like there's a common idea with parenting, when our child isn't listening and they're not following the protocol, right? We don't say, you're a bad boy, you're a bad girl. Because what that does is it's a direct attack on our children's character and can have long-lasting effects on their self-esteem. So similarly with our husband, right? We would like to think that, yes, as a grown man, hopefully our spouses do have a healthy sense of self and a developed self-esteem. However, we also are familiar with the idea of the male ego, right? And no husband wants to be barraged by their wife, especially as part of a character assault. So for example, you have a husband and wife and they're out for a date night. And on the date night, the phone rings. And the husband answers his cell phone. And it's right in front of the wife. She listens to what's going on. She hears that it's like his friend calling. It's not an emergency situation. Why in the world is he answering the phone right now? A million things are going through her head, and she's feeling annoyed. He hangs up the phone. And how does she respond, right? So we have a few different options. She can start saying, "You're really insensitive. I cannot believe you just answered your phone for something like non-important like that on our date night," right? That's a character assault. That's saying you are insensitive. Shame on you. You are a bad person, right? And I can promise you that will not be received well because our husbands do not appreciate that. I mean, no human being appreciates that. Forget just our husbands. I wouldn't appreciate that, right? So better than a character assault, she could use the rules of gas, which we learned about a few days ago, right? She could give information, she could ask a question, and she can state how she feels. She can say, "I saw that you answered your call on our date." That's giving information. She can ask a question. "Was it something really important that couldn't wait until later?" And she can state how she feels. She can say, "I feel a little bit annoyed that you answered the phone on our date. I really appreciate that you planned this date tonight, and I love spending time with you. And you're so wonderful for planning this beautiful outing together. I just would hope or wish that in the future we put our phones away during the date unless it's like really an emergency so that we could be totally dedicated to one another during this time." She states how she feels, and she does it in a loving way, in a way where she's giving him feedback and also building him up, also thanking him for planning a wonderful date and for saying, "I enjoy spending time with you," right? And hopefully, if she says it that way, he's much more likely to actually hear the feedback. Now, one of our Wonder Wives gave me feedback that it's also important in these different scenarios that I've been sharing with you that we give our husband the benefit of the doubt. And she's totally right. Yes, the phone was answered right in front of this wife. Yes, she thinks she knows it all, but she doesn't. Only Hashem, only God knows the full picture. We don't know the full picture. And there's a very important Torah principle to be dan lekaf zchut, to give a person the benefit of the doubt. For all we know, maybe there was something really important about that phone call. Maybe the person calling, it had something to do with like some kind of a surprise that he's planning on the date, but he didn't want to give it away because his wife is right in front of him, so he just kind of played it cool. I mean, I don't know, right? Maybe that was the situation. So we really don't know the full story. So by using tools like gas, by asking a question, by giving our husband the chance to actually respond in turn, and by not attacking his character, but rather pointing out the specific action that maybe bothered us or that we'd like to discuss or know more about, it's much more likely to become true constructive criticism, to be able to really build up our relationship and build up our husband as well. Thanks so much for listening.